Oh, everybody calm down. It's all good. I'm here. I made it. I'm here. Yes, and y'all beat me here, and I'm proud of you for beating me here. Thank you. This is In Other News. I'm your host, Mike Russell. Appreciate you hanging out with me on a Monday. A lot to cover. Yeah, here he comes. I love the banter we had going on here. I'm late. Still beat Mike here. Yeah, great. Chasing drones in the backyard. Yeah, I'm telling you. I had my first Amazon drone delivery today. It was fantastic. And check out social media. You see it right there. I check it out. Yeah. I'm here. I'm here. There was a ton to talk about. And then everything else just started jumping in. I did not know that there was going to be 1,300 protests, these hands-off protests across the country. I've got to get to one of these next time they're around. I just usually miss the postings. I miss the postings where they're going to give me $40 an hour or something like that to be for 2 days. You know, they give me my professional sign. We'll get to that in a moment as well. I did have something that I want to talk about, which is I believe it's in Colorado, a Burger King lost its franchise from Burger King corporate and turned it into a Burger King strip club. Anyway, we can talk about that as well. Yes, thanks for joining your own show. I appreciate that. Yes, you're quite welcome for joining my own show. Anyway, a funny law. I want to start when everybody's joining us here because we got to talk about these hands-off protests. And we got to talk about one of the most, I would say, hypocritical things that I've seen from our side of the aisle in a hot minute. But let's jump into this. A small town in Colorado has now decided that you can, as you cannot, as a citizen of this town, it's about 40 miles outside of Denver. You cannot have more than 4 pets. The hell kind of tyrannical BS is that? An HOA, maybe, but a town? An HOA, I get it. You put that in the CCRs, you can't have more than 4 pets in your house. Okay. You signed it, you agreed, and now you live there, so you gotta go there. The government saying that I can't be a cat guy. I'm not by any stretch. But I can't have 5 dogs. And if I have 4 dogs and get a 5th, someone rats me out, they come and take 1. What I didn't know in reading this, because I thought it was completely outlandish, as it is. It's just government overreach at its finest. California, statewide, has that law. What the hell is that? You're right, Rhonda. What if your dog gets pregnant? Yeah. Now you got 9 more just sitting in the belly. What are they going to do? I'm absolutely blown away by this. California has a statewide law. You cannot have more than 4 pets. And it's funny. There were several. New Jersey has the same thing, and I'm like, blue state. Yeah. I mean, the Democrats just honestly think they control us, and any rights we have been blessed us by them. Let's get to the protest. Hands off. I saw very close friends of mine, too, at these rallies. Hands off my democracy. I'm like, shut up. Shut up. I tell you to your face, shut up. God. I mean, it's hands off my democracy. How is democracy even being threatened by any stretch? It's like carbon. Every single thing we do as humans is carbon emitting. Every single, I think we kick out 2 pounds of carbon a day as humans. And you make it the boogeyman, you can control everything. Now you make democracy, a threat to democracy, the boogeyman. You can every literal thing. Donald Trump meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu today. A threat to democracy. You can make you scare anybody about that. Hands off my democracy. Shut up. I will say this. For the most part, and I haven't seen anything otherwise. I've seen people, the instigators, the influencers go there with a cameraman, a little microphone, and they try to make people look stupid. And I saw people getting really silly when that happens. But when not agitated, I was a fan. I don't care if you're protesting me. I don't care if you're protesting my kids. That's your God-given American right. God bless you. I don't care if you're protesting made-up crap like we saw today in this hands-off stuff. Hands off my body. Literally, abortion is legal everywhere. Like, stop. Here in Arizona, there's like 0 limits on it. I mean, come on. Hands off my body. Nobody's touching anything. And trust me, a lot of people holding these signs, nobody wants to touch their body. I get it's metaphor. I know. But I love it. I love a good chant. If it starts with hey, hey, ho, ho, I just know. Come on. Don't be lazy. Make up a good chant, and we'll go for it. Make up the song like those insufferable Democrats were singing a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, go for it. If you want to protest and you want to protest because you want to protest, rock on. Paying someone to protest, I don't know if that's really a thing. I mean, do we need to get on board with that? I think I have it. I don't know if I've kind of maxed out my my ability to publish things here. Let me see if this will pop up. It does. Okay, here it is. Right there. We need people to protest. Need people to protest. $40 an hour. How about this? Guys, these job postings are everywhere. They will pay you to protest. You get paid to protest. They're there. Yeah. I don't know if that's a God-given right. I get paid to protest. I don't know. I don't know if that's protected First Amendment kind of vibe right there. If you're paid to do it, huh? I guess that would be something to look into. And I would say that sincerely because I don't know. That's why people can't afford meat. That's why they're worried about pets. Yeah, Alfred. Yeah, probably. They're eating the dogs, eating the cats, eating the dogs, eating the cats. They were protesting. Rhonda, they were there. They were there in mass this weekend. That's why I knew my friends were there. Queen Bee asked why I wasn't there. I'm like, have we met? Not a big protester. Just not. Because I understand how just manufactured crap is. And I've been in a business where I watch manufactured crap all the time. So these people are there with professional signs. And it's hands off everything. Hands off this, hands off this, hands off. Stop the hands off. I had a discussion about Tesla. And the person I was talking to made a comment about the Tesla. I said that person probably bought Tesla back when Elon was a Democrat and he was, the Democrats' darling deer. And I said, if you, meaning this sincerely, because on the car it said written, it had written in like soap or whatever they write in paint, window paint. It said bought in 2019. So if you have to vandalize your own Tesla to protect your electric car from being vandalized by your party, you might be in the wrong political party. Like, I have to vandalize my car so no one else does in my own party. Yeah, I've been to several, Rob and I used to speak at the 2A rallies downtown, things like that. They're cool. No safer place in the world to be at than the 2A rally. Let me tell you that much. Woo! But were you paid to be there is the question. Let me give you some fun examples. We'll start with the slappies that were paid to be out there protesting because, it's an uprising of the American people. Somebody told me this weekend, believe it or not, so many Trump voters that I talked to are regretting their vote. Haven't met one. Have not met one. Nope. And that person, I hang up with the same people. No one is regretting their vote. Not one. All right, so let's get to this. Watch this kid. This is
Trump a fascist. What makes Trump a fascist?
He does things without
Yeah, talk loud. I don't have my mic on.
I'm not really good into interviews stuff like that.
Sorry?
He just does everything he wants and not following laws or he's a convicted felon, that's all I know.
I'll say this again. Look, American flag there, everything's good. Look, hey, I'm down with this. But what you notice in the crowd is basically like, sight of this guy, vast majority old white liberals. Like, this all is. I mean, they've been absolutely poisoned by MSNBC, absolutely poisoned by CNN, Vox, Mother Jones. I mean, just all blue-pilled out. It's kind of interesting to see, but here we go.
Your sign says he's a fascist, and I'm just curious what makes him a fascist.
No, this gets better, guys. Hang tight.
One of the things is that he's trying to control the media, right?
Yeah, Anthony Kiedis's kid shows up here. Okay, so Trump is trying to control the media. Okay, that makes him a fascist. Well, we're going to completely ignore the entire Biden administration sending teams of people into newsrooms around the country, telling them what they can say and can't say. Yeah, that's a, you go fact check me on that.
Say that again?
He's trying to control the narrative. Like,
How is he trying to control the media? Doesn't every president try to control the narrative?
they try to control their own narrative, but one of the things that Trump's has done, for example, is the renaming the Gulf of Mexico, and then not allowing the Associated Press to come into the White House. Basically, trying to get.
What are your feelings about him renaming the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America when a majority of the Gulf is in fact on the coast of America as opposed to Mexico?
I mean, it's kind of pointless. People.
But does that make him a fascist? No.
Is it pointless?
Yeah, people call it the Gulf of Mexico. What's the
Don't
point
you think
of
it could have
changing
a
the name?
positive tourism impact potentially?
Tourism has been down heavily.
So I don't want to get.
Tourism has been down heavily. Just so we're very clear, tourism has been down heavily, and I love these slappies that get out here and they but the cool thing is all of these people have gone away from being virologists, experts in autoimmunity, virology, respiratory diseases and viruses. They were experts for years, and now they're experts on the economy and tariffs and fascism, apparently. Yeah, so let's get back to him. Tourism's way down. And by the way, tourism's way down probably because everyone is 20% poor thanks to the Biden administration.
In a tourism debate, my question is: the sign says the fascist Trump regime must go.
This is where it
and so I'm just
blows
curious what
up,
makes him a
guys.
fascist. You pointed out that maybe something about his relationship with the media, he wants to control it, but how? Again, you're calling him a fascist.
Yeah, well,
what makes him a fascist?
One of the core tenets of fascism is creating an enemy, right, and blaming those problems on
What's
the enemy.
that?
Oh,
So the paper gave me,
that's the
Who
paper
gave
they
you
gave
that?
with the sign
The people that gave me the sign. It's a free sign.
Oh, someone gave you the sign,
and a piece
and then
of
they
paper.
gave you the handout.
You guys keep looking in the background and seeing only old white liberals. It's funny.
So are you reading it now to try to answer the question?
Yeah, but I mean,
Can I see that? Can you hold that
I'm
up?
just not. I'm
just curious.
Maybe you can have it.
I can have it?
Good. There you go.
Alrighty. So
Yeah.
So where did you get the sign?
All the way in the gatekeeper's house.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just pretty cool.
And that's another one? They gave you two pieces of paper?
Yeah.
Yes, another one.
Can I have that one too?
Elon is fascist.
Oh, okay. So what brings you guys out here today?
Just because I saw people were hanging out with people from.
Yeah, same
I got
thing as
support
everyone else.
guys.
Executive overreach.
Oh, okay. Same thing as everyone else. Executive. Anthony Kiedis' kid now wants to speak. Grassroots. 1,300 protests across the country. Grassroots. They're all paid to be there. Oh, okay. So if you don't think that was okay, Mike. Okay, fine. They found one example of somebody getting paid to be there, and one example of you saw a posting of people getting paid $40 an hour to be there. When the people that paid for the organized event, again, which I support, 1,000,000,000% support. I love that these people are protesting. That's good. I love that this is what you wanted. Too bad you didn't knock on your doors and get people to vote for Kamala. But you're out there organizing right now. So the people that organize this thing that have the free signs, when they have the free signs and when you're going to make up a new word, you have to hand out papers so they can explain the word. Here we go. Let's just
brings you out here today?
Kakistocracy. Kakistocracy. It's democracy in Kakistan, apparently. Yeah, Kakistocracy is democracy in Kakistan. Yeah, that's my guess. Anyone else have one? No, Kakistan. Anyone else? Kakistocracy. I say it's from Kakistan. This guy's from Cleveland, obviously. Let's see. He's got a paper to say what it is. The Burger King Trump head. I'm really not mad at it. That's kind of funny.
Can you explain a little bit for our viewers what this means?
Go ahead.
Where's your handout? Oh, okay. See, can you explain what this means? No. Well, see, what somebody gave me the sign, and they gave me something that because I'm too stupid to ask who handed me the sign. What's a kakistocracy? I'm too dumb to ask them that and commit it to memory. So they have to hand me a piece of paper, and my wife has to remind me that I'm holding it in my damn left hand.
Kakistocracy.
There we go.
Government by the least suitable or competent citizens of a state. Seems to fit, doesn't it?
No, it's protests that are being protested by the least intelligent around. That seems to fit here. Oh, the Geritol Warriors. I love that, James. Hold on. I gotta. You have your hand out, honey. The cute reporter girl asked you about that. You have it. Yes. We vote Kamala Harris. Harris Walls. Look at that. I can't believe he has to show her a piece of paper. He has to show her a piece of paper. Again, if you were going to take a sign from somebody with a word that you had no idea what the hell that was, nobody knows what that is. Whoa. Hey, hold on. We'll get to those guys in a minute. No. No. If it's going to hand me a sign, I don't know what this word is. Can you tell me what this word is? Oh, this means the government run by the blah, 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 the least competent in the state. Okay. Got it. 10-4. Okay. Do you still want to hold the sign? Yeah, sure. Got it. Do you want a piece of paper explaining what this? No, I got it. No, you just said exactly what it is. I got it. These people, wow. Product of the product of public school system. Yeah. And we'll wonder why we're getting rid of the Department of Education. Yes. And then I'll keep it again. And again, I'm not going to rip on people for protesting. God bless you for doing it, whether you're doing it for money, whether you're doing it just because you're bored, you want to meet people, or you really think holding a sign is going to change any politician's mind. Okay, rock on. I'm proud of you. The framers put that as number one. Number one. Got it. And you're being peaceful. You're being cool. Look, I'll go back to these guys here. I'm going to go with these people. Like, look, they've got smiles on their faces. They seem polite. They're kind. Like, there's nothing going on. Well, obviously nothing going upstairs on Captain Cleveland over here, but they're just cool. Everybody around them's got smiles. Everybody's walking around having it's like a day at the park. I can't be more fired up about that. I think it's great. I really, really do. The manufactured signs that come complete with handouts. That's where I like to poke fun at. All right, let's get to these slappies. Here we go.
From Urbana in Frederick.
Okay, here we go. Let's go back to.
All right, we are getting ready to leave from.
Geared up, and exactly. Did you see a type yet? You guys with me on this? I'm not old white liberals. Okay. Y'all didn't show up and vote. I'm sorry. This is not our fault. You just yeah.
Urbana in Frederick, Maryland, to head down to the hands-off protest where we are proclaiming loudly, we've had enough.
Hands off our immigrants. You know my question I have for this one. You know what I'm asking. Now the person filming this is fired up that they're doing this, but hands off my immigrants. Okay. How many did you take in? How many are you feeding? How many are you giving your health care to? How many? Exactly. Hands off these beta males and they're right out of central casting. Oh.
What's our goal today, guys?
Yeah, what is it?
Stand up to Trump. Bring back our democracy.
We are.
Where did your democracy go?
All right.
By the way, you don't live in a democracy, you jackass. Second, where'd it go? I can't even read what she says. Oh, okay. Oh, so bring my Medicare, hands off our Medicare. Fine. You know, as a matter of fact, I think that would be a good idea. I think it'd be a good idea. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, fine. Chuck Schumer, all you hands off sign holders, okay. We're not going to touch Social Security or Medicaid. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, not going to touch it. We won't even go into those buildings. And all of it's going to be gone in 5 years. All of it. Or we can go in and simply eliminate the waste and fraud, and it'll be around for decades. Your choice. You tell us. If you want hands off your Medicare and Medicaid, cool. Hands off Social Security, got it. Yeah. Here are the charts. All of the economists agreeing, majority of economists agreeing, that Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, soon enough, if nothing changes. When we hear that 40% of all calls that come into the Social Security Administration are for fraud attempts, damn. That's something that needs to change, but can't touch it. Can't cut that. Sorry. Yeah. Let's see. See, Brennan said, prove me wrong. I like it. Also, the hippie movement was dominated by lazy white privilege. Yeah? You ain't wrong. Can't prove you wrong if you're not wrong. Yeah, but hands off. So I think there's a little more here to this one here. Let's go what you got to say.
Here's the first bus, yeah.
What? I'm sorry. Here's the first what? Here's the first. Wait. They're busing.
All right.
Them in.
Here's the first bus, yeah.
Here's the first bus.
And the crowd is starting to develop, and I am going to post another video once I get down there.
Oh, I subscribe. Let me tell you, like and subscribe. Link in the bio. Merch link in the bio. You get your own hands off my tuchus. I love this. But the funny thing is, to me, is that no one learns. I mean, remember, let's go back as far as Occupy Wall Street, right? Changed nothing. As a matter of fact, Wall Street and the banks got bigger and wealthier during and after the Occupy Wall Street movement. Occupy homelessness, Occupy this, but the Occupy everything movement was crap. Did nothing. The hands-off movement now, won't do crap. I mean, Trump's first presidency, everybody's running around with vagina hats on. Did nothing. Because we, the people, see this and just roll our eyes. Okay, Alfred, if we're paying for this, if this is taxpayer funded, it's not through USAID anymore. We all know that this is, and I hate saying, God, blast all of you right-wing media punks for overplaying the George Soros card. Now that we have proof and light on all of the George Soros and the Soros Foundation and the whatever his big organization is, him and his son. Now that we have light on it, we can start freaking out about saying George Soros funded all this. Just like George Soros was 1/3 of the funding for the Supreme Court seat in Wisconsin. Pritzker was a third, and there was another third. I think there's three. They're multi-millions. But now you say it's Soros backed, Soros funded. No one cares. It's white noise. Thanks, Sean Hannity. Screwed all of this up. Soros backed. Okay. Too bad now. You let the boogeyman out. You let the boogeyman get away with it. You had a perfect boogeyman. The dude even looks like a villain in a Star Wars movie. He looks like Palpatine's cousin. And yet we can't say that anymore because you all overused it before we had clear eyes on exactly how much funding this man and his organizations are running through money laundering for the Democrats. Now we know, and we can't scream it and holler it because this is boy that cried wolf now. Yeah. Yesterday's Democrat Party is no longer. Amen to that. The lunatic fringe has hijacked it. I think it happened a long time ago. I think it happened a while back. I think basically the Pelosi leadership is what did it. The Pelosi leadership made the Democrat Party monolithic. And how she did that was her will be done. Everyone was at some point strong-armed into vote for this or I will primary you. You will not get I mean, she was a damn near abusive. She led with an iron fist, and she made that entire party a monolith. They do not deviate because they can't as long as she's around, and that's the culture. I'm sure Hakeem's going to take the same. Hakeem Jeffries going to take it the same tack. Chuck Schumer put not one Republican House bill before the Senate, not one. They didn't see one Republican House bill. Soros and Oscar the Grouch in the same room. Okay, I haven't seen. Or Palpatine. Yeah, just saying. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Trump ain't no chump. See, that would be pretty good. That would be part of the Trump is chump. Trump is chump. See, give me give me peaceful protest and a cool chant, and I'm in. I'm not that I will participate. But I will not. I will not knock your protest or your ability to protest. I can get to tariffs right now. and we can talk about tariffs, or we can kind of plug our noses and jump into some very cold water, because I'm very upset about this. The Republican Party, the conservative media portion of our media, is calling foul over the treatment of Mike Lindell, MyPillow. And I think this is stupid. Mike Lindell should get what Mike Lindell gets. This is what I saw today that just sent me kind of over the top on this whole thing. Mike Lindell, MyPillow, banned at Kroger, BJ's, HEB, Affirm, Colony Brands, Bluestream, Chewy.com. Why would MyPillow be banned by Chewy.com? And that's for pets? That's like dog food? Anyway, JCPenney, Dollar General, Bed Bath & Beyond. Dollar General? Who sells MyPillow stuff at Dollar General? My pillows are like $50. Anyway, Finger Hut. I have no idea what that is. Mattress Firm, Kohl's, Shop HQ. Fight cancel culture by direct. Okay? Screw and you. This is so stupid. Use the promo code merch at mypillow.com because you're shilling something. You're going to get a kickback. MyPillow banned that. Screw that. Good for all those companies for banning him. Good. You know why? Because he interjected his politics wholeheartedly above his actual company, MyPillow. He allowed his political ideology to hijack his company and get banned in all of these major retail brands. Weren't we just talking about this? When a very high-paid actress squashed a $10 million publicity tour because she kept interjecting her politics, and we made fun of her and we celebrated the downfall of Snow White? But we're going to sit and cry about this bozo? Oh. Yeah, he's right, Brent. He's the OG. He's the OG Snow White actress. This guy screwed himself and his company over. He is not a victim. I'm sorry. You know, we get after Tim Cooks of the world and Steve Jobs, and I'm kind of banging on Apple here, but I mean, keeping like Al Gore on the board and always talking about their politics and green this and green that. Listen, we can't bag on them for that and think Mike Lindell is anything but not a victim. He's not a victim. Mike Lindell looked me in the eye after rambling on for close to an hour. Looked me in the eye and said, I have 3 terabytes of proof that the 2020 election was stolen. As a CEO, shut and up. You don't need to talk like that. Then good. Hand it to the FBI, hand it to somebody else, hand it to Fox News, and get away. Just go back. Make pillows, dude. Make sheets. Giza sheets or what? Geezer. Geezer sheets. I'm ticked at this. I'm ticked at this victimhood. Oh, poor Mike Lindell. Shut up. Mike Lindell said again, go back to this, 3 terabytes of proof that the 2020 election was stolen. He told me this to my face, to Rob's face. And you have to understand how much 3 terabytes is. I want you guys to be very, every show that I have done in radio for 17 years is on one drive. I have it on a backup drive. I've just saved everything for some stupid reason. I'm like a hoarder. It's a 2 terabyte drive. And I still have plenty of room on it. I can go another year of video and audio. All my commercials, everything, all of our voice work that we've done, all on one. It's a 2 terabytes. This guy says he has 3 terabytes of proof. I didn't see a megabyte of it. No one did. And he did this all on his own. Good. I hope everyone else bans him. I hope he's only sold online. If we have to stay consistent with, like Brendan said, balls and strikes. And I found a 4 terabytes unused USB drives and SD cards cleaning out my office this weekend. Probably. Oh my gosh, that's a bucket O, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I just say, just stop. Oh, poor Mike Lindell. He brought this on himself. Carrie Lake brought what happened to Carrie Lake on herself. Sorry. You took the wrong turn and your brand is done. Yeah. Oh man. I'll say it again. I'll say it again and again and again and again. If Carrie Lake was just herself and stayed herself and campaigned herself and not tried to be Donald Trump, she would be our governor right now. And she would be a Republican darling. She would probably be a front runner for J.D. Vance's campaign as VP. But you interject your nonsense into this and you don't stay the course and you don't focus on what your brand is and you try to be somebody else or try to jump on a Trump gravy train and you're toast. And I'm not feeling sorry for you. Yeah. What's the Alfred said? I don't need a hard drive. Just look what's there. Yeah. No, I understand that, Alfred. That's great. But if somebody's claiming I have, and I don't disagree with you, guys, I think there were so much shenanigans in the 2020 election. It was the shadiest election we had. I think it was Newsweek or Time. Newsweek or Time. Which one was it? Okay, one of the two publications wrote a masterpiece on exactly how the Democrats pulled shenanigans in the 2020 election. It was brilliantly written. And all of the things they pointed to in 5 swing states that was changed because of COVID. Every one of those changes in all 5 swing states were deemed by those states' Supreme Courts as unconstitutional. So yes, I do believe shenanigans 2020. I get it. But I lost my job at iHeart because I wanted to talk about how to go win elections instead of crying about 2020, which no one cared. People care as much about 2020 as they do Jan 6. Don't care. Don't care. Happened. They slipped one past the goalie. That's all you can do. All you can do is just shrug your shoulders and say, we're not going to get it. We're not going to let this happen again. That's all you can do. Getting fired up here. That Mike Lindell thing pissed me off so much. I'm like, oh, yeah, banned in this, so buy from him because he's banned, because he can't just run a company and keep his mouth shut and donate to campaign. Donate all your money, dude. Don't find ways to give all of your money to Donald Trump. Cool. Rock on. Republican, whatever. Run yourself. Run for office, bro. But don't complain to me that you've been kicked out of stores. And while we're pointing at the Democrats going, yeah, they're banned because they're talking about their politics and this woke DEI stuff. Can't do it. Cannot do it. Oh, wrong, Mike. Oh, wait, okay. How am I wrong, buddy? Michael, let's go, dude. I love that. Tell me how I'm wrong, pal. I see, or part of viral marketing. He's got a lot of, I didn't say a lot of balls. Buddy, I don't say Mike Lindell does not have courage. Mike Lindell does have courage. But you can't have courage, take on a task full force, know that it's going to impact your brand, and then cry victim and cry foul when somebody says, we don't want to align with you. I don't think I'm wrong there. But I see what you're saying. The guy does have courage. Mike Lindell does have courage. He does. But I'm telling you, I'm sorry for saying this. I was making a joke with Ron, sorry. But I tell you this. Rob and I we had headaches when we were done. Like interviewing him. We didn't know which way was up. Rob and I think you guys will give us this at least. Rob and I had a Jedi level of being able to allow someone to speak, point, counterpoint. We called it pick and roll. We always called ourselves Stockton and Malone because we could pick and roll. We could just play off what each other's saying. We were lost. Like we didn't even know whose turn it was. We do, it says turn like we're brothers, which we are brothers. But I mean, it like whose turn it was to ask a question. We would just get this guy would be rambling on about such nonsense, and we just go, and one of us just jump in with something. Yeah. Oh, okay, Ron, I get it now. I was like, dude, he's got balls. He does have balls. Guy does. I did see that comment at least. He said balls. Speaking of balls, let's go this. The saving of Title IX is something that I think is a worthwhile thing. We fought for women's rights to play equally with the men. And I'm going to get to this because of time machines. I'm going to get to this tomorrow. But to say, I think Mark Cuban, who's starting to look like Mark Cuban again and not look like Rachel Maddow. He's actually starting to look like he normally does again. He's a weird metamorphosis. Said there's only 10 NCAA athletes that are trans. So we'll go over his. And then the two sports that I saw over the weekend, because we saw fencing last week, and two sports that I'm like, are you bleeping kidding me? Men are beating women in these sports too? Oh, yeah. I just saw that, Brendan. We'll get to that. But I think we need to talk. We need to talk about tariffs. We need to talk about the stock market. I think I'm not bashing on anyone specifically because I've heard this from several people. I'll even say my family members and people I love. Do you? I mean, they come to me like I've caused this because I sing the praises of conservatism in the United States, libertarianism in the United States. Donald Trump being president apparently is my fault, and the stock market is because of Donald Trump. Okay, whatever. By the way, keep in mind that before the giant bull run of the Reagan era, just about this time in his presidency, the stock market took almost a 30% dip. And every 18 months, the market corrects itself. So let's keep this in mind. Buy stock while cheap. You're right, Alfred. But I hear people, and it's driving me this. Do you know how much money I have lost? Oh. I heard one say, I'm back to when I started investing. Then you haven't lost anything. Because your gains were all computer keystrokes. That's all it were. Your gain wasn't real money. It wasn't realized gains. Anyway, anyone in your circle that tells you they've lost so much money in this Trump downturn, oh, they've lost so much money. Yeah. Point this list to them. Go ahead. Elon Musk lost $130 billion. Bezos, $45 billion. Zuck lost $28 billion. Gates lost $3 billion. Look at Warren Buffett, by the way. Year-to-date change, I'm plus 12%. Plus 12 billion, sorry. I'm plus 12 billion. Warren Buffett's like, no, you guys just don't read. Ellison Page, 4234. Palmer, 19 billion. Sergey of I think Sergey's he's Alphabet, right? He's Google. The Waltons, obviously the Sam's Club and Walmart Peeps. Yeah. Michael Dell's still around? Damn, lost 36 billion. Crap, bro. Michael Dell took a beating. I didn't even know he was still on this list. But I mean, God bless him for doing what he did. But I don't want to hear anybody talk about, oh, yeah. I hear anybody say, I lost so much money. Yeah, BS. These guys lost money. What do we keep talking about? Oh, no, I got to take that off stage. All right, okay. So let's talk about this. Warren Buffett, how I mentioned that. Warren Buffett is, let's see here, 12%. I'm 12 billion up on the year. Pretty good. Here's his advice to everybody that is panicking.
Investors are told, retail investors are told that they should have a certain percent of their portfolio in bonds. Maybe they're told 60-40, maybe they're told 70-30 stocks to bonds. That's something that you should do, and that's the safe way of doing it. What are they missing?
Some people should not own stocks at all because they just get too upset with price fluctuations. Yep. If you're going to do dumb things because your stock goes down, you shouldn't own a stock at all. No, I mean,
what are dumb things? Selling a stock?
Yeah, selling a stock because it goes down. I mean, if you buy your house at $20,000 and somebody comes along next day,
buy your house at 20. How bleeping old are you, dude? If you buy your house at $20,000, how old are you?
He says, I'll pay you 15. You don't sell it because the quote's 15. You look at the house or whatever it may be.
Wouldn't even be a car, G.
Some people are not actually emotionally or psychologically fit to own stocks, but I think more of them would be if you get educated on what you're really buying, which is part of a business. And the longer you hold stocks, the less risky they become. Whereas the longer the maturity of a bond, the more risky it becomes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You guys, by the way, the administration does not mind a 20% dip in the stock market. Doesn't care. That's going to drop interest rates. It'll all work out, y'all. It'll all work out. And again, I look at my guys, and I don't have a lot of money, but I mean, I have guys that manage some of my money, and I'm like, if I look at them and they're not panicking, they're not sending me emails saying we need to talk, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. But Warren Buffett's saying basically just chill the out, okay? Just chill out. Relax. It's all going to be just fine. Let's get to the tariffs, shall we?
Like his data. And if we look at data from President Trump's first term, and there's a big study that just came out from a group of economists, mostly at MIT, that showed that a 20% tariff on China led to a 0.7% tax or price level increase over 4 years. I think that's pretty good. If we can take in 20% in tariffs and it's a 0.7% increase. And Kristen, the little publicized story.
Kristen Welker's getting really edgy right now.
This week, everyone wants to look at the stock market going down. You know what else went down? Oil prices went down almost 15% in 2 days, which impacts working Americans much more than the stock market does.
God, the grown-ups in the room, and it feels so good to have grown-ups in the room.
Interest rates hit their low for the year, so I'm expecting the mortgage applications to pick up.
Well, just to be very clear, though, I mean, during President Trump's first terms, the cost to Americans was nearly $80 billion in new taxes due to his tariffs. The prices did go up on everything from washing machines to tires.
Do you hear this? Slappy, this hack. Prices on Americans, it went up $80 billion. We spend $20 trillion a year. So to say that prices went up $80 billion on Americans is the dumbest thing I've heard and the most disingenuous crap as far as a stat I've heard in a minute.
Well, no, but let's go back. The aggregate number was 0.7, so we can discern the individual things. Also, households saw real net wages go up. So if wages go up faster than prices, which is not what happened over the past 4 years, that's why the bottom 50% got eviscerated.
Yep, sit down, sister. Just sit down. Just knock it off. Just stop trying to act like you're one of the grown-ups in the room. Kristen Welker's done. I think there's a reason she's keeping her job at NBC. I don't know what it is. All right, so somebody mentioned this. Countries, James did. James said countries are lining up to negotiate Trump tariffs now. Exactly, because that's how it's done. So the game's played.
Ready to negotiate with the United States?
Yep.
Indeed, we have offered 0 for 0 tariffs
on
industrial goods, as we have successfully done with many other trading partners. Because Europe is always ready for a good deal, so we keep it on the table.
Good. All right, there you go. Hey, we're offering 0-0. I think it's a great deal. 0-0, fantastic. 0. But Trump's not going to go to a 0. He might go to a 5-5. He might go to something that's going to bring in revenue. I think his first move is going to be to eliminate capital gains tax. I think that's going to be for billionaires. Pretty much. I didn't doubt that. 80 billion, not the billions that gave Ukraine, right? 80 billions on Americans, not the 280 billion. Good point, Daniel. Damn good point. I'm going to get to Mr. Wonderful here, and then we can go. I need a grown-up to explain this. And this woman is doing everything to get Kevin in a corner, and you just can't. You just cannot.
Right now, for its worst weekly performance since March of 2020, how do you continue to be an advocate for these tariffs, given the sell-off we're seeing, given that I have had every source on our show this morning say that these tariffs will be causing a recession in the United States?
They don't know that yet. They don't know how long the tariff's going to be on. We've never done this before. We've never taken on the entire globe. Usually it's done in trade agreements with specific countries, such as NAFTA, which was Canada and Mexico, or a European Union situation. This is unique, over 60 countries. Now, there's two aspects to these tariffs. Number one is reciprocality against tariffs from one country to another.
Yeah, because tariffs don't work. Remember, this woman wants to say tariffs don't work, but every other country has tariffs on our goods.
Based on products and services that are specific. So if you're charging a 20% tariff in India, it's going to be reciprocated in the United States. And those go away pretty quickly. That actually leads to fair trade. The more complex aspect aspect of these negotiations are around the idea of trade imbalances. And so when you put on tariffs to try and fix trade imbalance, it's difficult because the largest economy on earth is the United States. So really you're starting a behemoth negotiation, and it's happening in every country. You highlighted Canada, but you might as well talk about Britain or even Switzerland, where I am right now, where they have over 30% tariffs imposed 48 hours ago. And so you can assume that behind the scenes are two spheres of negotiations. One is, let's try and reduce the imbalance of trade by buying more stuff from the United States. That's one signal. And the other, which is very easy to fix, is simply remove all tariffs. If you're going to have reciprocal tariffs at 20%, 30%, 40%, just get rid of them, bring them down to zero.
But Kevin, as of this morning, with the 34%
these people are such hacks.
Retaliatory tariff from China to the United States, we are not getting closer to free trade. We are just getting further into a trade war.
In related news,
China's a whole different story. This isn't about trade war with China. This is about leveling the playing field on a wide range of issues, including IP law, access to business, access to courts, being compliant with U.S. regulations on securities. There is a laundry list of grievances with China that have been around since they joined the WTO, and none of the administrations previously have ever dealt with China.
So why are tariffs the right way?
Dealt with for the first time. So this has nothing to do with just tariffs. I mean, right now I can't litigate.
That's the tool that the administration is using. Why are tariffs the correct tool if, to your point, these have nothing to do with tariffs?
It hasn't worked.
What tool do you suggest they do when nothing else has worked?
I'm not the president. It's not my job.
Well, exactly. So let him do his work. China's different than all the other countries.
But it's not
China has to be dealt with.
How do you know it's not working? Woman is 48 hours.
Look, I'm having lots of problems with China, as are millions of other companies in the United States that try to do business there. They do not play by the rules. They're going to have to start doing it pretty soon. That's a different conversation. You want to talk about the markets correcting? Yes, they are. By the way, markets correct every 18 months, up to 20%. You're watching it happen right now. It's not pleasant. You can't blame just the tariffs for this. These have been very expensive markets now for almost 18 months. Now they're having a correction. I think what matters is this a recession signal, yes or no? And how long will these tariffs be on? I would say 50% of these tariffs across these 60 countries will be negotiated pretty quickly, including the Canadian situation you made details on. Canada's different because they're in the middle of an election. Carney's not an elected official. He has no mandate from the Canadian people. He's just an interim prime minister when they threw out Justin Trudeau a few weeks.
They should have. They did right by throwing him out, but they're throwing. Talk about getting chucked out of the frying pan into the fire. Holy cow, Canada's screwed. You guys, it just please take a deep breath. Know that the stock market's going to be just fine. And by the way, the stock market's at 40,000. For the love of all, come on. That's like what Kevin said right there. He's like, the stock market it's been expensive for a hot minute. It's been way too expensive. And now people are buying the dip, and away it comes back, right back up. Guys, everybody just chill the hell out. The vast majority of Americans don't own stock. This is not hurting our country. Let the grown-ups just run this for a little while. Give them 6 months. Jeez, let them run it. Just fine. And you're right, Truman. You got to love that guy. You got to love that guy. And here's the deal. It might not work. If it doesn't work, okay. Tariffs are gone. That's the cool part about tariffs. You can flip them like a switch. Okay, I got tariffs saying, nope, no, don't have tariffs. I saw some report from NBC News that it's causing quite a crisis at the border, implementing these tariffs on goods coming into the country. Countries are going to get away with not paying tariffs. Oh, my gosh. Okay. I swear, if they find out that Trump was the one that actually moved the stone, allowing Christ to come out and announce his resurrection, they would say something about how he screwed up the environment by moving the stone from one place to the other. I swear to God. Anyway, you guys are fantastic, and thank you so much for hanging out with me. We're going to do this again tomorrow. We got a lot more to cover tomorrow. Again, the men and women's sports and why Donald Trump. This is such a great thing here by a very famous country music singer, why Donald Trump stopped talking about the vaccine during the election. why he stopped talking about COVID and the vaccine during the election. Pretty cool stuff. It's a cool story. We'll have that for you tomorrow right here on In Other News. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.